যাব তীরপূর্ণির ঘাট, পেরিয়ে যাব তেপান্তরের মাঠ, কিংবা থাকতো যদি মেঘে ওরা পক্ষীরাজের বাচ্চা ঘোড়া, তখনই যে যেতেম তারে লাগাম দিয়ে কষে, কারণ মনে ভাবি ওইখানেতেই আছে রাজার বাড়ি।
এ শুধু রবি কবির কল্পনা বিলাসী নয়, এ কথা আমাদের সবার। আমরা সবাই ছোটবেলার কল্পিত ব্যঙ্গমা ব্যঙ্গমীর দেশে অথবা ঠাকুমার ঝুলির লাল কমল নীলকমলের ভিড়ে নিজেদের অতীতকে সর্বদা ফিরে পেতে চাই। তাই আমাদের সবার মনের কথা
গল্প বলবো তোমার কোলে এসে। আসন্ন উপস্থাপনার মধ্য দিয়ে আমাদের সামনে ফেলে আসা শৈশবের সজীব সৌন্দর্যের উচ্ছ্বাসটুকু মূর্ত হয়ে উঠবে।
মঞ্চস্থ হতে চলেছে দ্য পাইড পাইপার অফ হ্যামেলিন।
Listening to and reading folk tales, fairy tales and mythological stories are an integral part of our growing up years. The English play that we are going to watch next is based on one such well-loved folk tale, The Pied Piper of Hamelin. The legend of the Pied Piper originated in Hamelin, Germany during the Middle Ages. As the story goes, the town was struggling with a serious rat infestation problem and was desperate for relief. A mysterious man in pied clothing approached the mayor and promised that he would rid the city of its problem in return for money. Let's watch the play to know what happened next.
A rat, a fat, black rat, trailing its long tail through the butter and nibbling the cheese. First one, then two, then 10, then 20, a plague of rats. At the start, only a handful of houses in Hamelin had a rat. Then all the houses in Hamelin had 100 rats. And every day there were more. First 100, then 1,000, and then 10,000, and then 1,000,000 rats. The rats were so big that they used to fight the dogs and even kill the cats. The people of Hamelin tried everything to be rid of the rats. They chased them with sticks.
Shoo, shoo, out, out, shoo, shoo, out, shoo, shoo, out,
Threw water over them by the bucket full. And baited traps with poisoned cheese. But for every 10 rats they killed, there seemed to be 20 more. First, the people drove the rats out of their houses. Then, the rats drove the people out of their houses. And soon, everyone was gathered in the town square, in front of the mayor's house.
Get rid of the rats! Get rid of the rats! You are...
The mayor came out of his large house, shaking a big black rat off the hem of his robe.
You're the mayor, get rid of the rats!
What's everybody doing here? Clear the square! Clear the square!
What are you doing about the rats?
I'm thinking about it.
Well, it's not good enough. Get rid of the rats or we will get rid of you.
Suddenly, a clear voice rang above all the shouting. It silenced everyone, even the mayor. I will get rid of the rats. The crowd parted. a stranger walked towards the mayor, tall and thin and upright, dressed in strange colorful clothing. His cool long coat from heel to head was half yellow and half red. His eyes were a piercing animal yellow, and a long moustache hung from his top lip like two limp rat's tails.
You can get rid of the rats?
I can. They'll leave if I tell them and never come back.
Well, do it, man. Do it.
I shall want paying. A shilling a rat. The news swept through the crowd in whispers.
A shilling a rat? Can you imagine a shilling a rat?
What a shilling a rat?
A shilling a head? Do you think we are made up of money? Do you know how many rats we have here in Hamelin?
I made a rough count. About 1 million.
You must give us time to think about it. I shall go and consult the town council. It's an awful lot of money.
There are an awful lot of rats.
The council will want to know who they are dealing with. What name shall I tell them?
People call me the Pied Piper. You have until sunset to decide. I'll wait here until then. And he sat down on the edge of the fountain in the square. Opening the leather bag, he took out a brass pipe. There he sat cleaning the pipe with a piece of rag. As the midday sun passed overhead, the mayor scurried over to the town hall.
There's a man out there who says he can get rid of the rats. In fact, he looks like a bit like a rat himself. Funny eyes.
What's he charging? Can we afford him?
He wants a shilling a head.
A shilling a head? What a price!
We'll have to put up the rates and the people won't like that.
They may not like rats, but they hate parting with their money.
Who said anything about paying? Why not agree to his price and let him get rid of the rats? When they are gone and he asks for money, we can send him packing without a penny.
That's the answer. What a plan. No wonder you are the mayor.
Pied Piper was still sitting on the fountain wall when the mayor came out of the town hall. Well, have you made up your minds?
We have indeed, young man. We'll gladly pay you a shilling a head if you get rid of all of them and they don't come back again. You have our solemn word on it. When can you start?
I'll do it tonight. Tell everybody to stay indoors. The mayor smiled generously, gathered up his robes, and walked in a mayor-like way back to his house. His 5 children met him on the steps in tears.
The rats have eaten the dinner, Daddy, and bitten the baby. What are you doing about them?
There is nothing to worry about, children. Tomorrow, there won't be a rat left in Hamelin, and we'll be able to sleep peacefully in our beds. It was the smartest thing this town ever did when it made me the mayor.
Okay. Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Daddy.
when the sun had gone down, and the people of Hamelin were at home, a lonely figure appeared in the town square. The Pied Piper, his brass pipe in his hand, stood looking at the moon. He put the pipe to his lips and began to play. And then it was a fat black rat sitting back on its haunches, its head to one side, listening. The shadows seethed with rats. The Pied Piper played on and on. He barely seemed to draw breath. Then he waded through the sea of rats, and the waves of fur parted on each side of him. He walked in the direction of the city gates, and the rats trailed behind, drawn more strongly by the music. The city of Hamelin stands near the Weser River. When the Pied Piper came to its banks, he stopped playing and stood still. The rats stood still too. Jump! And the rats at his feet threw themselves into the river. Not one refused. Not one hesitated at the brink. Row upon row, they flung themselves headlong into the icy river and disappeared. Last in line came the largest rat of all, the millionth rat. Fat with stolen cheese, it was slow moving and slow to arrive at the river bank. The Pied Piper speeded it on its way with a kick to its black rump. It hurtled into the river and sank like a stone. It was the deepest, darkest hour of the night when the Pied Piper came back in Hamelin at the mayor's front door. But he knocked loudly, and somewhere a dog barked. Few people stirred. For the first night in months, they were sleeping in their beds. The Pied Piper knocked again. And at long last, the mayor appeared in his night clothes. The rats have gone. You owe me 1 million shillings.
Gone? 1 million of them? Well, where's your proof? Where are they?
You wanted them gone from Hamelin. The rats are all drowned in the river, and I claim my shilling a rat.
Nonsense! I'm not going to pay for rats in a river. A shilling a head, we agreed. And you haven't brought me a single head. Now be off with you.
He tried to slam the door. The Pied Piper's angry yellow eyes frightened him.
Okay, I'll give you 100 shillings. Just so that we part friends. All right?
You can keep your 100 shillings. I'll find some other way for you and your town to pay for my services. The next day, the people of Hamelin were so glad to be rid of the rats that they sang and danced and made merry. not knowing all the while that the mayor had gone back on his words and cheated the piper. What a party it was! They drank toast after toast to the mayor. After looking round to see that the tall, sinister stranger had not come, he climbed onto a step and gave a speech.
I sent the foreigner away with not so much as a brass penny. In short, I saved you from the rat free of charge.
Outside in the town square, the only person not to be invited to the party was the Pied Piper. He sat by the fountain, polishing his pipe again. This time, he played a wonderful tune that was able to draw the children from their homes. All the little boys and girls came skipping and dancing behind. They were all dressed gaily. The children went laughing and talking, drawn by the music of the piper, up the mountainside. All of a sudden, the door of a magic cave opened. In walked the piper, with the children behind him. The door closed and they disappeared. Only one small boy was left behind. He was lame and was not able to walk as fast as the others. When the grown-ups returned home after merrymaking, they realized that their children were missing. They rushed to the mayor and shouted,
You greedy man! Give us back our children! Give us back!
Give us back.
The mayor sent his servants north, south, east, and west. He offered to pay the piper the promised amount if he would bring back the children. Alas, the piper was never seen again. Many years later, when the lame boy used to tell this story, he would say,
The music stopped, and I stood still and found myself alone on the hill.